Like, I remember hearing about like the Grey Knights bathing in the blood of like the Sisters of Battle. I'm just like, that makes no fucking
No
sense.
fucking sense.
So, I wouldn't really consider that canonical.
No,
but
and
then it's fan fiction, I guess. But you know,
Grace.
this level is very interesting. Did we mention? I will say that thankfully this is actually the last mission in the post-apocalypse future setting, and to some degree, it will get more interesting once we leave these very corridor-ridden, same-colory, boring locales. I mean, thankfully we won't have to go back through that same street we already have gone through like 2 or 3 times. That was a great way to start a game, right?
I mean, I can't think of any better way. Interesting locations, original gameplay, none of these things. What you need is witty
highly useful
one-liners.
weapons. like I find that most of the weapons in this game, if they don't kill you, then they don't kill anything else, and they're pretty much fucking useless.
Always a joy.
Yeah, especially like the grenade launcher. The grenade launcher is fine, but then you have to realize that you're dealing with like a projectile arc with an analog stick that just isn't very helpful, and then you have a blast radius on the thing that, you know, it has a good chance of just slaughtering you as well.
It's a nod towards realism.
Well, yeah, this game is nothing but reality. It's like a big nutsack of reality teabagging you in the face. But, you know, with this hot vent action, it also goes to show that, you know, the game really had its pulse on the future. I mean, I think Half-Life 2 might have come out by now. This is like 2000, so it could have been a precursor to other vent-heavy FPSs.
I mean, look at all that gray and brown, all those
And light sources. That one light.
dynamic lighting.
Yeah. Dynamic water effects. Look at that.
It's cool.
Yeah, and it's got like a moving texture on top of it. It's pretty sweet. Look at the little ripples. That is like, that took up so much processing power. You wouldn't even know.
I wouldn't.
I try not to know. I drank heavily to forget about the ripples. It's the butterfly effect.
Somewhere a tornado is ruining a small child's life.
Somewhere Ashton Kutcher is cradling Demi Moore.
I was actually in the gym and I was watching, I was watching something on E! Entertainment because it was stuck on the channel, and I tried changing it every 5 seconds and it didn't work. But apparently Ashton Kutcher went nude in an interview on camera, and you guys, I don't know if someone wants to show their dong, that's, I guess, their thing. But then they censored it and made like a big deal out of it, and I'm like, it's just a dong. We all have one.
Well, when it's a famous person's dong, it's something completely different. It's like, you know, comparing a garden snake to an anaconda.
What's a garden snake?
It's basically just a name for a very innocuous, non-venomous little green snake that you would find in a garden.
Is it small?
Yeah.
So for
usually
normal people, it's smaller and green.
Yes. We all suffer some form of genital gangrenous activity.
Well, that explains why Duke is always shooting them in the crotch. You know,
Yeah,
it
actually,
says something when you're happy that it's just, you know, turning their heads into gore.
yeah, I mean, usually all these reptilian creatures are kind of synonymous with American penises. Scaly, green, armor-plated, and angry. So angry.
I would
But-
be too if I had no secondary, tertiary,
Remember, short, controlled burst.
What?
secondary sexual characteristics.
Gotcha. But this is the most exciting fucking cinematic ever. I actually don't know why they felt the need to put this in at the end of the stage. I mean, yet again, post-apocalypse, the world's over with. I don't really think making sure this one base is overrun is really going to save the already destroyed planet, except, you know, time travel MacGuffin. So
maybe it's to show you how truly hopeless it is. Except
yeah, I remember.
it makes no fucking sense.
Yeah, I remember reading about how one guy just stopped reading comics because it came to the point where nothing that happened in the storyline really fucking mattered at all.
I'm gonna bust
It's like,
you
oh
up,
yeah, the
John.
guy died. Retcon.
Ah, yeah, I remember that. I mean, like, I only read Max imprints of limited edition comics. The only one I read that isn't that is Deadpool.
Yeah. And that's because nothing good ever happens to Deadpool.
Nope.
Except for that one time he got his face back, but then he had to sacrifice his face to get his girlfriend alive or something.
Yeah, because she had identity disassociation shit, which is probably pretty bad when you're a shapeshifter.
But yeah, this is the first boss of the game, Boss Hog, who is a rather rotund,
I don't get why he's an alien.
because the aliens are pigs, I guess.
Oh, it's yeah. Okay, I didn't see.
Yeah, I decided to leave that one death in for medical reasons. But let's try to give that another chance, and this time not using the missile launcher, because it's really an awful weapon. Instead, we're gonna use the BMF Thunderstrike some more.
My eyes. They are
Yeah.
bleeding.
For those of you that might remember playing like Turok Dinosaur Hunter and getting the Chronos Scepter, it's kind of the same visual effect, and it's also incredibly fucking blinding.
What person thought this was a good idea?
The same person that made the entire game overall, I assume.
Oh yeah, he's a pig. That's what. The whole hat thing confused me. It just looked like, you know.
Somehow the aliens managed to change the past so they control the present. We don't know quite how they did it, but there was a nuclear war which wiped out most of human civilization. We've been working on our own time travel experiment. We weren't affected by the changes. We need you to travel back in time and change things back again. We've managed to locate a big time disturbance in the 1800s. And like they say, there's gold in them there hills. Our time machine is experimental at this point. You'll have to make do with the local weaponry.
I need your clothes, your boots, and your horse. Forget the horse.